Welcome back here for game number 2. Better late than never to get this game started. Davis Barlow joined by Joseph Garwood for this one. So not flying solo. Joseph, good to have you.
Good to be here, Davis. We'll hope we can bring a little extra offense for the Lady Lions here in game 2.
We'll see what they can muster. Kennedy Caruth is back in the circle for Belhaven on the flip side of this game. But it's Riley Ford to get the start for Piedmont here in game number 2.
Going back to the Belhaven lineup, they're taking the if it ain't broke, don't fix it attitude. Looks like the exact same starting 9 and starting pitcher as game 1. As that one's tapped back to a 4, she'll run it over to first and shovel it across for out number 1.
Yeah, I love that. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And, well, they won game 1. 4-0 was the final score. Emma McBrayer gave up just 2 earned runs. She did give up 4 total. 7 hits, 2 of the runs earned. 1 walk, 3 strikeouts in her 7 innings, Joseph. But Kennedy Caruth was brilliant on the
Yeah, she shows why that she has come into this day with the numbers that she has. ERA under 1. She was about as dominant as we've seen all year. Piedmont, a lot of weak contact. Only 6 strikeouts for Caruth, which is a little bit below her season average, but still impressive display in the circle for Caruth.
Yeah, she had 109 strikeouts headed into that game. She picked up 6 there, so it moves her to 115 on the year. And again, just 3 hits. Lady Lions unable to muster a run. They had a couple big opportunities. McBrayer popped out with the bases loaded, and then in the 7th inning, a late chance at what would have been a remarkable rally falls short there. And now you have to turn it over to the freshman, Riley Ford, here as you go to a new pitcher. Macy Allen had quite the game at shortstop, and she continues that here in game number 2 with the putout.
Yeah, Allen defensively was about as good as you could have been in game 1. Helped keep that game close for as long as it was. And Ford off to a good start. Ford, a little bit different type of pitcher than McBrayer. Strikeouts are a little bit higher, 31 in the 3rd inning. She struck out 36, more than a batter per inning, which is pretty impressive. Obviously doesn't have the experience or really it's just experience. Ford has come on lately, and she's been great, and she's ahead in the count 0-1.
Yeah, sometimes the lack of experience can be a good thing here. Maybe she doesn't realize how big this moment is, because this is a huge game for Piedmont now. Again, you came into today undefeated in CCS play. You're now 8-1 as that one spins foul. Thought it might come back fair. But again, you came in today 8-0. You're now 8-1. Belhaven was already entering this game with 2 losses. I believe they were 8-2 entering this game. So again, now they've given the Lady Lions their first loss here. If they split, Piedmont is still technically ahead in the CCS standings.
Yeah, this is a huge one. You definitely didn't have to sweep it, and that's a big swing and a miss. Impressive inning for Ford. And we're going to go to the bottom of the first, all tied up 0-0.
Here for the bottom of the first. Piedmont, a little bit of shakeup in the offense and how it'll line up. The big change, obviously, Riley Ford in the pitcher's spot. She will hit 7th. McBrayer is the DP for this game. She will hit 5th. Madison Henry behind the plate. No Hannah Morgan in the lineup, Joseph. And to lead us off, Jasmine Lowry.
Lowry, I believe Lowry had the only hit in game 1, and there's going to be a base hit for game 2.
Yeah, she had the only hit going into that last 7th inning rally.
Before Madison Henry's double to lead off that inning, but she just fights one off there, just drops it in over behind the infield in front of the outfield. Love to see it to start for Piedmont.
Similar situation to her first hit. That was a ground ball that squeaked into the outfield in game 1. Just kind of fought off a good pitch and gets on early here. Now to Caitlin Isley. Doesn't have a hit on the day. This is a bunt that's fouled off of Isley. Oh, and they'll say she's out of the box. This is going to draw some conversation from the umpires here. No, maybe
no real argument for anybody. Looks like just an unfortunate break there. Isley, remember she had a bunt attempt in the first game and popped it up in foul territory in that one. So Caitlin Isley with the bunt attempts have not gone the way the Lions have wanted them so far.
Kara Taylor up to the plate now, and it's a pop-up. Another pop-up for Caruth, and it's quickly out number 2.
That's kind of how you snuff out a rally. If you're Caruth, you get the leadoff single, and then you get the bunt where you get called out of the box, and then a first pitch pop-up to Kara Taylor. But now Madison Henry, she absolutely launched one to the gap in left center her last at-bat in the first game.
We knew that Caruth wouldn't get as many strikeouts as she normally does because this Lady Lions lineup doesn't strike out very much, but she is getting a lot of pop-outs as the first pitch changeup to Henry drops in for strike 1.
Yeah, those infield pop-ups work almost as good as strikeouts because those are, you send one up there that high, like it's almost over a 95, 97% chance that it's going to give you an out.
Oh, and this one hits Henry. That's the second time she's been hit when she's been behind in the count there. So Caruth bails her out yet again. And similar situation to what eventually led to Emma McBrayer popping up with the bases loaded is coming together again, and it's McBrayer now with 2 on and 2 out.
Now, but yeah, McBrayer is going to want some revenge for that bases loaded opportunity. That was a foul out back in the first game. That was really the best chance Piedmont had to score while the game was still within reach.
The 0-0 to McBrayer. Big swing and a miss there for strike number 1.
It seems like McBrayer has had a little bit of trouble. We've seen her swing over the top of that pitch that Caruth throws that darts down and away from the right-handed hitter. That one's in the
dirt. They're going to go on the move here. Fired to third, and they'll get Lowry trying to take the extra base. That's a rough break for Piedmont there. It snuffs out the rally, and we go to the top of the second, still scoreless. Back for the top of the second here. Riley Ford back out into the circle here, Joseph. Piedmont rally snuffed out quickly, and now you got to go back to work on shutting down the Blazers.
It's a couple kind of mistakes that you don't want to make against a pitcher as good as Caruth, running into an out on the bases, and the bunt attempt where Isley was called out of the batter's box with the ball hitting her. And it seems like Piedmont's gotten a little better, maybe seeing the ball a little better against Caruth, but still have not been able to scrape across the run yet.
Definitely trending in the right direction, but there's only so much trending you can do. I mean, you got to get over the apex at some point and really start going to work. As this one's fouled down the third base line quickly. 0-2 here to the cleanup hitter Jones.
Puts a lot of pressure on your defense when the offense is struggling to get runs across, defense and the pitcher, and kind of no margin for error is what they're operating at.
Yeah, you put a mountain of pressure on a freshman to hold what in reality is probably a top 25 team in the country to no runs while your offense tries to figure it out.
Good waste pitch there by Ford, trying to get a rise ball above the letters. Just held onto it a hair too long, and Jones was not going to bite at that.
Jones' nemesis has been the changeup all day long. Looked foolish on a couple there. They went to a changeup again, and that is just not her pitch, as she is down on strikes for the second time today for a changeup, and now that brings up the 5-hole Runnels, the second baseman.
Great pitch. Clearly a scouting report on Jones is to try to get ahead in the count and then finish the at-bat with a slow change. And Ford, impressive stuff there. Back-to-back strikeouts.
Riley Ford, great stuff. So far, that's a beautiful pitch for strike number 1. Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, Joseph, only 31 innings thus far for Ford. It's been almost a late bloomer. They'd had Carly Forrester earlier this year get some work in, and they really seem settled in now with Ford being the number 2.
Yeah, Ford she's been outstanding of late. She can do damage with the bat as well, hitting .333 on the season, so we're going to see her potentially next inning at the dish. We will see her next inning at the dish. We'll see what she can do there. Maybe have to support her own cause in the circle.
Yeah, that's another big aspect, is when your pitcher is able to swing it, you can put a DP in somewhere else. As this one's popped up to first base, Carrot Taylor secures that one, and just like that, 2 out as McNear comes to the plate.
McNear made maybe one of the biggest defensive plays of the game for Belhaven, catching that foul ball from McBrayer. With the bases loaded, right up against the fence, not an easy play, and kind of snuffed out the biggest rally Piedmont had all of game 1.
She'll stand in and take strike number 1. McNear also was a part of that 3-run top of the 7th for Belhaven, as she crushed one into left field. She's behind 0-1 here now. Make it 0-2 as that one mirror to the first pitch, and now if you're Ford, you got a couple pitches to waste. We've seen her go with that rise ball like you talked about. It's a good waste pitch, and we've also seen the changeup as the punch-out pitch. Went rise ball, got a check swing. They'll check at first base, no swing. Now the count will go to 1-2.
Good effort there by Ford. She's gone hard, soft, and then back to the fast rise ball above the letters. Almost got a chase from McNair. She was just able to lay off it. Expect maybe to go soft again away.
See what happens. Change up away, fouled off. No, swung and missed. Throw down to first, beats her, and she'll be out at first. Takes a little bit of a tumble, but that's the end of the inning right at the bottom of the second. Riley Ford looking great. Second inning of work for Caruth coming up. McBrayer is still your batter here, as the throw out at third there, the caught stealing, does not affect her. So she's back in the box, fresh count. McBrayer, Kennedy Votava, Riley Ford do up this inning, Joe.
We'll see if McBrayer can kind of take advantage of a little bit of a free at bat there. Got to see some pitches again, got to see a few more. We'll see if she can. She's definitely got the power to leave the yard, especially against the velocity that Caruth is throwing it. Had a good swing at that, but just a little bit late. Unable to get on top of it.
It's a good pitch to hit as well. Good job, McBrayer, to be ready to take a hack, but she's really getting under a lot of these pitches. This one swung over the top, so made the adjustment, but a little bit of an overcorrection. Now it's 0-2.
Against these right-handed hitters, Caruth's done a really good job of going. The rise ball is kind of coming up and in that they're not able to get on top of, and then complementing that with another pitch that's going to dive down and away from those right-handed hitters. We saw those two back-to-back there.
Big swing and a miss. No, it'll be a foul ball. That actually caught the umpire, so we'll take a short break while they check on him. We are back here. Umpire's okay. He's able to stay. He caught that one in the throat area, so we're glad to see he is back behind there. Emma McBrayer still in the box. Counts 0-2, and it's a swing and a miss. Ground ball. No, maybe. No, they're going to call.
Looks like it's going to be a strikeout, and McBrayer reaches first. Like
now
we're going to have a discussion.
She got a piece of that. Yeah, she definitely got a piece of that. I think it's a ground ball. I think it's a ground ball in play. I thought it was a swing and a miss, but then
it's hard to tell from this angle that we're at up here. But the umpires are going to conference.
I thought it was a swing and miss, but then based on the spin, I thought it was a ground ball at that point.
We're just going to wait and see. It looks like
we have the worst angle.
We have
in the park.
Like maybe, yeah, this interesting spin coming off. McBrayer, good awareness to run either way. It's like we have three options. We either have a strikeout and a reach, a ball put in play somehow, and McBrayer reaches first safely, or a foul ball.
I'm going with 2 or 3 there. I think
A, B, or C, or D, none of the above.
Yeah, I think it's B or C here. I think she got a piece of it. The question is, did it kick back into play evenly without the catcher touching it, or did it bounce off of the catcher and go back into play? Umpire's going to have their discussion. Terry Martin out there talking with Kennedy Caruth, having some laughs there.
Our last home date, we had the umpires leave the facility to consult the rule book, so hopefully we don't have to. It does not have to come to that again.
This shouldn't be too much of a rule book here. I think the issue is all 3 of them have something different. The question is whose overarching authority decides the play. I mean, the home plate umpire makes the call, then I guess can be overruled by another umpire, which I think is what just happened here. I think the third base umpire is either accepting responsibility for making the incorrect call.
Either way, it looks like McBrayer is going to be allowed to stay at first base. Not exactly sure how.
That's what we got to figure out. I think it's put into play. But that's what I'm trying to figure out, because third base umpire called foul, which implied that she had contact on the play. The question is, I think our home plate umpire might have signaled out, thinking he had a swing and a miss. This is a rough situation. Kind of botched all around, because I'm not even too sure what happened at the plate.
Yeah, I have
you
no idea.
You and I had a difference of what happened at the plate. So we had a difference. The umpires have a difference.
It's like we're still having some kind of discussion.
I say clearly Terry Martin and the Belhaven coach have a difference. So we are
such a weird play. So not being on like field level, you would probably be able to at least hear the contact or not, whether or not you would be able to hear whether or not it hit a bat. We don't have that luxury up here.
This is leading to a lengthy discussion, as the Belhaven coach appears to have been cued in to the same conversation that the umpires just had. Is Terry Martin now going to go observe this conversation as well?
At some point, Kennedy Votava will come to the plate.
And at some point, Hannah Calloway will be running for Emma McBrayer.
Votava comes in at 479. Her average fell just below 500 in Game 1. Yeah, Calloway is walking out to chat with first base coach Darren Olivo.
This conversation's still ongoing here.
McBrayer at the longest at bat in the history of D3 softball. That does not include that many pitches.
Also been up at the plate in 2 different innings as well. Okay, so upon looking at the replay, I think I was correct. McBrayer got a piece of it. It hit home plate and kicked into fair play. So it should be a hit for McBrayer as that moves her to first. The issue, I think, is coming from the third base umpire signaling foul. But that, I mean, that would make sense.
Either way, Hannah Callaway is taking over at first base as the pinch runner whenever we eventually return to play.
So Callaway just went over there and had an extra lengthy conversation with both McBrayer and Olivo before eventually taking McBrayer's spot. We're still having a 5-person discussion. I believe they're just making the change at this point while the Belhaven coach continues to plead his case, but it doesn't really matter. The end result was McBrayer on first, and that's how it will stand. Votava getting a little bit bored down there, turned around, looking up in the booth, watching us kill some time here. Again, it's a gorgeous day in Demarest, but we'd love to get things on the move here in some form or fashion as this one kind of just continues to stall.
It's like based on official stats and consulting with the crowd, if McBrayer did not... McBrayer, they're going to go with strikeout and E2.
Oh, boy.
Or maybe strikeout wild pitch.
I think it has to go down as a wild pitch there because the throw was on. Strikeout swinging, reach, I guess. I have no clue. The Belhaven coach is still pleading his case. Good Lord, this is an absolute nightmare here as this one continues to just stall. I mean, at this point, the pitcher's going to have to re-warm up because we're going on like near a 15. We've probably totaled 15, maybe 20 minutes at this point between the two delays, and we've gotten through one batter in this inning.
Looks like maybe we're finally about to resume play. If anyone...
Okay. We got some walk-up music going, which means we're back underway. Votava now stands in the box. There's no outs. The pinch runner on first is Hannah Callaway. And we should finally be good to get something started in some form or fashion here. Piedmont has one hit thus far. That was not recorded as a hit officially. Does go down as a strikeout as Votava drops down the bunt. It's fielded well, fired to first, runner moved to second. So Votava spent more time standing around the box than she did in it.
Love to see that if you're Coach Terry Martin. A well-executed sacrifice bunt, move that runner into scoring position, a fast runner at that in Hannah Callaway. And now Riley Ford with a chance to help her own cause.
Yeah, Caruth has filled her position well here. But let's see how Riley Ford can fare against her counterpart. Sign is sent. Wind and delivery on the way. Fastball in for strike one, right at the knees. Great pitch.
Yeah, that was a beautifully executed pitch by Caruth. Not one you really want to do much with if you're Ford, so that's probably a good take by her.
Just got to be careful. Can't continuously get behind in the count against her. This one popped up in the infield over to second for out number 2, and the infield pop-ups continuing to plague Piedmont.
That one, good pitch by Caruth. That one just darted off the outside edge right to the end of the bat of Ford, unable to get good contact on it, and now it's going to be up to Lindsay Partlow.
2 out, runner on second, Partlow. Now hitting on the season, 329, still solid there, 14 RBIs. Multitude of extra base hits, as that's called strike number 1. You would love something in the gap right here, or even a single should score Callaway. Great speed at second.
Batting average you love to see in the 8-hole. Partlow hitting 329, 9-hole hitter Smith hitting 310.
Fantastic. McNear did a great job to scramble and find that one.
In fact, the lowest batting average in Piedmont's lineup is Caitlin Isley at 278, which is a very respectable average, especially when Isley's getting on base at a 404 clip.
Yeah, Isley leads the team in runs with 21, so to despite the lowest batting average, still getting on and putting in a ton of work. That one's fouled off. Ended up on top of the Belhaven dugout, and now the count's 1-2. Caruth trying to work out of the longest second inning, not even her fault. Inside, not going to get her with that one. Counts 2-2.
Good take there by Partlow. Trying to lull her to sleep a little bit, went outside a couple times in a row, then tried to freeze her on the inner half at the knees.
Ground ball, hit Partlow in the box, and we'll do it again.
There's that same pitch that she's been throwing. It has a lot of movement away, down and away from the right-handed hitter. Piedmont's not been able to do really anything with it all day.
Two. Popped up into shallow center. Coming on is the center fielder, and she'll secure that one. So, Piedmont, no runs again. We're headed to the top of the third, still tied. Ziskin to start the top of the third. 7, 8, 9 due up for Belhaven here. Riley Ford's looked good so far, though it's been about 30 minutes since she's gotten to throw.
Yeah, big something to watch here. She's faced the minimum through two, has absolutely been cruising, but the disjointedness of this game, we'll see if that comes into play. We'll see if she can power through it.
This is almost like a fresh start here. Almost like you're starting the game all over again for Ford, and not the first time a Piedmont pitcher's had to work through an extremely long break. It's becoming an unfortunate trend here. Ahead 0-1 though to Ziskin. Ahead 2-0 to Ziskin. 0-2 to Ziskin.
Weird to say, but this is Piedmont's final regular season home doubleheader. The schedule's going to get tough. Very backloaded schedule for Piedmont. They got Huntington, LaGrange, and Maryville in doubleheaders on the road, all within the CCS. Those teams have each only lost a couple times in conference. Good rise ball there by Ford, trying to get the chase. Ziskin laid off.
Yeah, weird schedule this year for Piedmont. On the road for the majority of the beginning of the season, and they were loaded for about a 2.5 week span with home games, end of March and this week. And then you're back on the road to finish the year out. Also have a non-conference game on that schedule as well.
Non-conference contests at Barry and at Birmingham Southern, two formidable opponents as well.
And then, of course, the CCS tournament, where you'd like to think that Piedmont has a chance to host at least up until the semifinals, as Ford gets a big strikeout there on the rise ball.
Yeah, she tried to get her to chase a couple pitches ago, and then Ziskin was unable to lay off of it a second time. Good pitch by Ford. Third strikeout of the game.
And we've talked about it all today. These games are huge against Belhaven, likely the 1 and 2 teams in the conference, and ultimately, if both were to make it to the championship, it's really deciding who would be hosting. This one's popped up, trying to stay in play, but it won't. So it's fouled out for strike number 1. Kaemi trying to make something happen here. I mean, you've got to try to reach any way you can and turn it back over to the top end of the lineup. Belhaven came into this game, Joseph, 7 different ladies with home runs, but I mean, they have looked extremely weak at the plate as far as power goes.
Yeah, not a ton of hard hit balls. They were able to find some gaps late against McBrayer and kind of give themselves a little bit of a cushion against the Lady Lions. But this Piedmont pitching staff, got to give McBrayer credit. Ford's been great the first time through the order. We'll see what she can do with the 0-2.
Ooh, went with that rise ball. Tried to get the chase. Won't quite get it this time. Count will go to 1-2. And yeah, I mean, you're correct. Any of the hard hit balls, true, have been like low liners as well. So, I mean, nothing elevated and gapped really for Belhaven all day. I think Madison Henry probably has the furthest hit ball on the day for Piedmont in game 1. That's a great pitch, but it'll be a little bit low for ball 2. Counts 2-2.
Henry trying to frame that one. Home plate umpire not buying it. Ford, she went with the rise ball at the letters to try to go soft away. We'll see if she doubles up on the soft away.
Went with the fastball. This one's popped out to center field, and that's where Hannah Smith waits. She makes the catch for out number 2, and now it's the 9-hole Madison Miller.
As we mentioned in game 1, we got the 2 Madison Miller. We got Maddie Miller leading off. We got Madison Miller in the 9 spot. No relation.
I've been told they look alike by the crowd, so everyone was extremely confused. Cannot confirm that, as again,
both left-handed hitters, I believe, as well, and outfielders.
Yeah, playing next to each other. Maddie Miller in center, Madison in left.
Swinging a miss there by Miller. Good pitch by Ford. We've seen her constantly in this first time through the order, working ahead in the count. Gives her a lot of options. Brings that strikeout a lot more into play.
Yeah, the first 2 pitches, I mean, one of the 2 has to be a strike, especially to a lineup this dangerous as now she's ahead 0-2.
Got a lot of options for it. She's shown command of her off-speed and of her fastball so far in this game.
She's turned to the rise ball, Joe, as you've noticed, pretty consistently in this 0-2 situation here. Do you break that routine?
I think you go rise ball high here.
They went fastball outside, and they got her looking. Strike 3 there. Ford continuing to rack up the strikeouts and rack up these scoreless innings. We head to the bottom of the 3rd, still tied 0-0.
Yeah.
9-1-2 for Piedmont here. Hannah Smith to lead off the inning, and then Jasmine Lowry, Caitlin Isley to follow her.
Be important for Piedmont. If you can get the 9-hole hitter and Smith on, she's a threat on the bases as well. In front of these big right-handed bats for Piedmont at the top of the order. That could be a recipe for something to cheer about if you're a Piedmont fan.
On base percentage of nearly 500 for Smith. She's 2 for 2 on stolen bases. Has a great glove and arm in the outfield. That's why you've seen her get a lot of playing time in center. Her and Hartley Nerva have been the 2 center fielders for Piedmont here. A 1 to Smith, and that hit her while she's out of the box. That should be an out. And
Yep.
It is. So it's an out number 1 there. That's the issue you run in when you're a slap hitter, Joseph. If you ground it into you, you're already moving out of that box. It's a rough start.
We've now seen Piedmont, first time through the order, record 2 outs on that as Caitlin Isley got hit trying to sacrifice bunt. Hit herself out of the box. Now second time through. Looks like probably, though, I think be the fifth time this part of the lineup has seen Caruth today. We'll see if that helps. Lowry has 2 hits today. Had a hit leading off in the bottom of the first inning. It was caught stealing to end that frame.
And Jasmine Lowry 2 for 5 on the day. She went 1 for 3 in game number 1. Good take. Great block back there. I know nobody's on, but I mean, it's still so impressive to see a catcher move as well as Anna McNear does behind the plate.
Yeah, very athletic behind the plate is McNear.
One count. Tried to paint the corner, but missed outside, and count goes to 2-1.
You can tell just the way Caruth is throwing Lowry, she definitely respects her ability at the plate. Lowry, 4.11 average. She's really making an argument she's been Piedmont's best offensive player this season.
Definitely up there. Great pitch on the inside corner for strike number 2. Yeah, Lowry, real highlight. Again, one of the younger players in this lineup. Piedmont started 3 sophomores in this game. Lowry, Votava, and Partlow. No freshmen, and then the rest junior-senior combo.
Leads the team with 9 doubles. Has a couple triples, too.
Big swing and a miss on that one, though, and that will send her back to the bench. There's 2 outs now in the bottom of the third, and that brings Caitlin Isley to the dish. And Isley's having a rough day, Joseph. She's 0 for 3 in game 1 and hasn't found success here in game 2 either.
Yeah, I can kind of make up for that here. Try to start a little 2-out rally with power hitters behind her.
Big swing and a miss for strike number 1.
If Isley can reach, she's 15 out of 17 on stolen bases this year. If she gets on, it's a good chance she's going to get in scoring position for the big hitters, the middle of this Piedmont lineup.
Changeup drops in for strike 2, and now just 1 out away is Caruth from getting out of her 10th inning of work here at the Walker Athletic Complex. This one fouled back. We'll do the 0-2 again.
Like Caruth, she's just shown elite command of all of her pitches to all quadrants of the strike zone. Has Piedmont guessing a lot.
Went with the rise ball, not going to get the chase, but count was 0-2, so plenty of room to work with if you're Caruth here, and probably come back with, I'd say maybe the changeup again here, try to get her on the 1-2. With the fastball fouled off down the third base line, we'll do the 1-2 again.
Good piece of hitting there by Isley to spoil that. That was a well-executed pitch by Caruth. I would look for her maybe to try to hit that low outside corner pitch she's gotten a number of Lady Lions to swing over the top of so far today.
Sign's been delivered. Caruth checks. The delivery grounded back to her, fielded well, fired to first. Piedmont goes in order in that inning. We'll head to the top of the 4th, still scoreless. One, two, three to lead off this one here. Maddie Miller Allie Gordon, Kennedy Caruth due up in this one as Riley Ford sets for her 4th inning of work here. Joseph, looking good so far.
Yeah, Ford's been outstanding. The first time through the order, she really showcased dominant stuff, a lot of weak contact, multiple strikeouts.
Oh, this one's popped up in front. What a play from Madison Henry to let that one go. She knew the spin, she knew it bounced back, and she also knew she had no chance to get the runner at first.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times you've seen the catcher or the pitcher panic and try to field that, know it, and that's the play. You either need to make the catch out of the air or know the spin and let it go for a harmless foul ball.
We saw Isley take that exact gamble earlier as this one's fielded by Taylor, fired to first, but she collided with Isley. Wow, they're going to think about going for third here. Throw is well off the mark. Runner will hold at second.
Looks like they were going to have a tough play to get her at first. I believe that should go down as a single, then the E throwing error to allow her to get to second base.
Kara Taylor also got clobbered.
Yeah, that was
by
you could not have put a bunt in a better spot. Piedmont, 3 defenders really converged, and you had the second baseman trying to run over to cover. That was going to be a difficult play. You really don't want to. That's really one you probably just want to put in your pocket.
Yeah, you want to just eat that there as Taylor tried to make the hero play. It's the first hit for the Blazers there. Squaring to bunt, trying to drop it down. It's in the dirt. Runner's on the move. She'll be safe at third. Uh-oh, and this is trouble for Piedmont now. Runner on third, no one out in the middle of the lineup coming up.
Yeah, looked like that was just a little trouble with the transfer from Henry, and that was just enough. The throw was spot on, but a little too good a jump there by Miller, and now the corners are creeping well in front of the bag, trying to cut off that run.
Allie Gordon is the one at the plate. Belhaven here, counts 1-1.
Tough spot because you have the heart of the Belhaven order up. This is where it's really nice to have a pitcher like Ford who does have strikeout stuff, because you figure you're going to need to strike out one of the next 2 hitters to keep that run off the board.
Gordon's had a rough day at the plate, 0 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts already. That one's fouled back for strike number 2.
Outfield giving her respect. They're playing pretty deep all the way around. Middle infield for Piedmont playing back, so any grounder ball that's not directly down one of the lines. It's like Piedmont's willing to concede the first run for an out.
I don't know how I feel about that with only one hit against Caruth just far in this game. I mean, I feel like you almost have to keep Belhaven at 0 here.
This is a game where playing for 1 run is definitely the play, as dominant as the pitchers have been on both sides today.
Two here. Big swing and a miss. 3rd strikeout of the day for Allie Gordon, and a huge strikeout in this inning for Riley Ford as now Caruth steps up to help her own cause.
Yeah, there's the first one. Now you're gonna have to one more strikeout, pop up, weak contact against a tough hitter in Kennedy Caruth.
Caruth 1 for 3 in game 1. Squaring to bunt, drops it down. It should be foul. It is foul. Ooh.
That was close.
Belhaven almost ran themselves into an out there, because if that one stays fair, the runner is hung up between third and home.
Bold play with the number 3 hitter Caruth trying to drop down a little safety squeeze.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of caught Piedmont a little bit off guard, but she was unable to get it into play.
I feel like if you're going to bunt in this situation, it's got to be an all-out squeeze. Safety squeezes runs the risk of what we just saw, especially with how athletic Madison Henry is behind the plate. But now the count's 0-2, and if you're Riley Ford here, I mean, you have faith in Henry to block up anything. I think you have to play for the strikeout here for at least the 0-2 and 1-2 pitches.
Yeah, they got the bunt on the first pitch. Second pitch, something cutting off the plate that Caruth bailed on. We'll see if she goes rise ball up here.
She does not get the chase, and that's fine. Just counts 1-2. I might double down on that again, Joseph.
Yeah, we'll see. It's either that or she tries the exact same pitch, a little sinking action and cutting action away that she struck out the previous batter Gordon on.
The 1-2. Went with sinker, cutter, whatever it is, but it's too far off the plate. Now the count goes 2-2 here.
Good take by Caruth there. I think she tries to throw the exact same pitch she just threw and maybe tries to execute it just a hair better.
The 2-2. Went with the fastball inside, and she got her looking. Riley Ford is struck out 2, and now is 1 out away from escaping this inning.
That was a perfect pitch by Ford. She had Caruth leaning to the outside corner all the entirety of the at-bat, and she could not have put it in a better spot. Now she's 1 out away, can't let up here as cleanup hitter Ellie Jones steps in.
Has to continue to get ahead. A low pitch here. Ground ball. It squeaks through for the first run of the game. Solid contact from Jones, and Ford wasn't able to stick her glove out and knock that one down.
It was the first pitch, or first batted ball that left the infield the entire inning. And unfortunately, it comes back to bite Piedmont as the throwing error and the stolen base. So basically, Belhaven just manufactured a run.
Unfortunate break there. Now on the move is the runner. Fired to second. They'll get her. So the damage has been done, but Piedmont's out of the inning. They trail by 1, headed to the bottom of the 4th. Fourth frame for Piedmont as we're back here. Kennedy Caruth still on the mound, but changing the booth for us here. How about this? Chloe Spratlin joining me here as Joseph Garwood stepped off.
Yeah, I got out of class about 8 minutes ago. The student comes before athlete, but I'm glad to be here joining the party. Better late than never.
Yep, we'll play a little bit of catch-up as this inning goes on, but it's Kara Taylor to start this one. Piedmont dropped game 1. If you're just joining us like Chloe, Piedmont dropped game 1 4-0 there. Kennedy Caruth went all 7 innings. She was pretty much close to flawless. 3 hits, 6 strikeouts, no runs given up. Emma McBrayer took the loss in that game. 7 hits, 2 earned runs, only 3 strikeouts, 1 walk. Now they've sent Kennedy Caruth back out into the circle for game number 2, and she's looked just as dominant there. Only given up 1 hit so far through 3 innings. She's got Kara Taylor 1-1 right now, and then of course Belhaven just scored in the last half of the inning. They're manufacturing a run. Now it's Piedmont's turn to do the same.
From what I know about this matchup in the CCS preseason poll, Piedmont ranked 2nd, Belhaven ranked 1st. I'm glad to be here. This is going to be a great game. Obviously, the first one not going to plan, but the second one, still a lot of time left. Only the bottom of the 4th, so a lot of time here.
What a play. It's short, fired to first to get Taylor. Great defensive play there as Ziskin able to get the put out. That's Macy Allen-esque play. Allen's looked fantastic for Piedmont at short, but now the defense for the Blazers starting to kick in as Madison Henry comes to the plate.
Madison Henry, phase 1 so far, was just hit by the pitch, so done a decent job getting on base so far. See if we can get a hit here and maybe make some magic happen.
Twice today, Henry's been hit while she's been behind in the count, so bailed out twice by Caruth. This one's outside for ball number 1. Again, the 1 run for the Blazers on 2 hits, 1 error. Ford has looked pretty much flawless. Besides that, she almost worked out of the runner on third, no one out jam before surrendering the 2-out RBI single. Big swing and a miss there from Henry. This count goes to 1-1 here. Henry has a double on the day. Absolutely crushed one off of Caruth in the bottom of the seventh in game number 1.
And that's what Henry does. She will crush a ball if you give her the opportunity to do it.
The 1-1 fouled off down the right field line, and it'll go out of play. 2 strikes now on Madison Henry. On deck stands Emma McBrayer. Votava would be behind her if one of the next 2 ladies can reach. The 1-2 down in the dirt. Great work back there from McNear yet again.
And Caruth with only 1 strikeout of the game so far. A lot of flyouts, a lot of ground outs. The Lions are getting the ball in play, just need to, make better contact with the ball when they're swinging.
Exactly. It's been a lot of weak contact today. That's not weak at all. Back into right center field, but a great jump from the right fielder.
Yeah, I think Henry just got a little bit too under that one. Unlucky there from Henry, but I'm sure her next at-bat she'll make do, or she'll make better on that one.
So McBrayer now stepping up to the plate. Thought there might be a change as the umpire looks to confirm something here. But looks like we're sticking to our regularly scheduled program here. As you mentioned, Chloe, Caruth's strikeouts not normally where they are, only 6 in game 1, which is well below her almost strikeout an inning average, and then in this game just 1. She came in today with 109 strikeouts. She came into game number 2 with 115. Has found just 1 since then. I'm not too sure what the ultimate conversation happening here is. Looks like they're going to switch out softballs before we get back to the action. So McBrayer waits here. You'd love for her to find something. In 328 batting average coming into this game, 20 hits, 7 of them extra base hits. That would be a great time for number 8.
The 1 strikeout of the game so far from Caruth has come on Emma McBrayer. But you talked about, how Caruth is well under her strikeout average. I mean, that's what happens when you play a really good team like Belhaven, is even when the pitcher's not doing exactly what she needs to be doing, you've got a great infield and outfield that can help you out there.
One's inside for ball 1. This Lady Lions lineup also does not strike out. Not a single person had double-digit strikeouts coming into this game, and the lone strikeout victim, McBrayer, who now has 6 on the season, has 62 at-bats and has only struck out 6 times.
It's phenomenal. That's why this team is as good as they are.
That one floated and got crushed foul. McBrayer just couldn't quite keep it fair. That looked like maybe an attempt at a changeup, and it hung over the middle of the plate.
It's an extremely humid day out there. A little bit of a breeze, but it feels pretty nice so far. You definitely see Caruth out there digging her hand in the dirt, trying to get some sort of traction on the ball. It gets sweaty out there. It's a really warm day.
McBrayer had been taking a rosin bag out there with her in game 1 for the same issue. This one's grounded through the 3-4 hole into the right field. They'll throw to first, but they're not going to get her. It's a single for McBrayer.
Maybe some 2-out magic starting out for Piedmont here. Exactly what you need when you need to build some momentum. You're down 1. You already lost the first of the doubleheader. This is a great opportunity for the Lions to get some momentum here for the rest of the game.
Kennedy Votava up to bat here now. Again, the singles machine. Belhaven well aware of her style of hitting. Slap hitter that really likes to almost swinging bunt or just chop one. This one's down in the dirt for ball 1 here. Not really a threat for extra base hits. Has just 1 on the year. Bring that up almost every time she comes to the plate because it's so relevant. 1 extra base hit despite having 23 hits. Now would be a great time for number 2. If she can rip one down that third baseline, they are shading her towards the middle of the field. She tried to go down the left field line, but it is out of play, foul.
Yeah, just chopped up. Got a little too under that one.
Count moves to 1-1. 2 outs here in this one. Game 2, if you're just joining us, both teams have a pair of hits. 1 error for Piedmont, 1 run for Belhaven. This one grounded to first, fielded well. Steps on the bag for out number 3. We're headed to the top of the 5th. Piedmont still trailing 1-0. Top of the 5th. Back to work goes Riley Ford here. It's Belhaven. Try to generate some more runs, continue to put a gap between them and Piedmont. 5, 6, 7. Due up for the Blazers. Runnels to get things started. She pops this one up and out of play into the decently sized crowd here today. Getting a lot of the Piedmont fans down to our left from the press booth and the bleachers. There's also a large number on the hill left field that's a fan favorite to grab a lawn chair, back your car up and watch the game. Good crowd up there as well.
Really good crowd, especially it's right in the middle of the day. A lot of people are still in class. People just coming out of class, just now starting to fill up the stands just a little bit more.
Yeah, 12 o'clock start today for the doubleheader. Actually started a little bit early. Started around 11:50 for Game 1, and now into Game 2. We are here, 3:03 on the East Coast. Oh, not sure where that one was, but it'll be ball 2. I mean, it definitely caught the plate, so the only place I can think of is maybe up a little bit. But now Runnels ahead in the count, 2-1. That one's definitely up, counts 3-1.
Riley Ford with 7 strikeouts on the afternoon so far. Caught 2 of them looking. Rest of them were strikeout swinging. Couple flyouts, couple groundouts as well. A good day so far from Riley Ford. She still finds herself down 1.
I knew Ford's punch-outs were getting up there, but 7 through 4 innings is quite impressive. As they have a quick conversation just to resettle her down here. You cannot afford to walk the leadoff batter in this game. Such a tight contest. You really can't afford any mistakes, but walking the leadoff is near the top of the list of ones to avoid. 3-1 will walk her. Ford has really good control, about a 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. So now the backstop, McNear into the box. She's 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. One of many strikeout victims today. I believe there's 6 different ones.
It's phenomenal from Ford, especially as a freshman.
McNear dropped down the bunt. Henry almost caught it, but it was in fair play when she did. Wow. That is an unfortunate break. I guess it goes down recorded as a hit, because it's such a difficult play. As Henry tried to get out of her stance and make the catch.
See Coach Terry Martin pleading his case with the umpire. Says it bounced back. I think he's pointing in the dirt saying you can see where it bounced.
All that matters is where Henry was when she touched it and if the ball was in fair play when she touched it. Again, we have probably the worst angle in the ballpark for stuff like this. And they will rule it to be a fair ball. So, first and second, no one out as the leadoff walk is looking extremely rough now. There should be a bunt from Siskin here. Try to advance the runners to second and third. Here's the bunt. Popped up. It'll clank off the fence for strike number 1. They'll definitely have her do it again here, as these are crucial runs to separate Piedmont and Belhaven.
Here's the 0-1 pitch.
Popped up again, but it won't be caught.
Almost identical to the last.
Agreed. So now you enter a very interesting situation. Do you have her try a third time and risk her fouling out on the bunt, or do you let her swing it here despite being down 0-2?
If only you got 0 out or no out so far, I think
they're gonna let
doesn't go for it there.
Yeah, they're going to let her swing it here. So that's ball 1. I think you have to. And I know you want to move the runners over, but her fouling out on a bunt attempt with how poor the first and second attempts look doesn't do you much good. To the 1-2, well inside, and the count will go to 2-2 here again. This is your 8-hole hitter, 9-hole Madison Miller. Or excuse me, this is your 7-hole hitter. The 8-hole stands on deck. Madison Miller, the 9, would be behind that. The 2-2. Went with the rise ball, got the pop-up. It's in foul ground, and Kara Taylor will secure it for out number 1.
Good stuff by Taylor there. Read that the whole way through. It's not too bright up there, but certainly all the clouds can make it a little bit difficult to be looking up that high. So good stuff by Kara Taylor there, and was up and ready for, in the event that the second base runner was going to make her way to third.
Kyami now into the box here. I wouldn't be surprised if she squares here. Runners still at first and second. You're at the bottom portion of your lineup. She does not square. Fouls this one off to the right. Count will go to 0-1.
Oh, 1 pitch.
Down in the dirt, and it'll bounce away.
See every runner advance.
So the wild pitch recorded there, and now it's essentially as if Ziskin had gotten the bunt down. So you have 1 out now, runners on second and third, and I believe we've just got time to get some more balls to the umpire here as we get ready to get back to this at bat. Again, the count is 1-1. There's 1 out. Belhaven threatening again.
Lions desperately need something here.
Big strike there from Riley Ford as the count goes to 1-2. I'm surprised the Piedmont infield is not in right now. I feel like you have to cut down the run here because of the lack of offense. They feel they still have runs to spare. The 1-2. Just a ball there. Count goes to 2-2.
Madison Henry had looked back at the umpire, as she always does whenever she thinks it's a tight one.
The 2-2. Fouled off down the third base line. We'll do it again.
You can feel the tension on the field right now, especially in the infield. It's really palpable knowing that if Belhaven get a score here, it could really, really turn the tides of the game. 2-2 pitch, still 1 out.
Ground ball to third. Isley got it from her knees to the plate, and she got her. Huge play from Caitlin Isley. Runner's going to try to take second. They will concede it.
And as much as you might not want to concede either one of the second or third, I think it's a smart play because if you throw to one, it looked like the third base runner was looking to make her way all the way home. It's tough there. It's hard to do a double play there, and you've got a good enough pitcher, a good enough infield to make something happen on the next at-bat.
Yeah, Belhaven tried to run something there to bait Piedmont into a mistake, and they don't take it. So Madison Miller into the box, and now Maddie Miller on deck. 2 outs. Runners still at second and third. Called strike number 1 there. Just barely catches the corner.
Lions can get a huge boost of momentum if they can get out of this inning. It's been tense. It's been tight. Had some mishaps, but certainly can go into dugout feeling confident.
This one poked into left, but the outfield is where they should be. And Riley Ford has worked her way out of some trouble thanks to some defensive help here. So Piedmont still only trailing by 1 headed to the bottom of the 5th. Riley Ford to lead off the bottom of the 5th.
Riley
7,
Ford.
8, and 9 due up for Piedmont.
Ford just had a great inning when it came to pitching, got out of a real jam there. See if that momentum can really carry over into the bottom of the 5th here.
First pitch is down. Caught the umpire as well. Again, we already saw the umpire catch it off the throat. Earlier this game saw a major delay. About a 20-minute delay last time that happened. He caught that one in the shoulder and is definitely feeling it, so he's going to take a walk around. Ford's ahead in the count 1-0. Oh, McNear is bleeding. Wow, so that's going to be a delay. You cannot play while bleeding, so they're going to have to fix that. So add this up to yet another delay. Yeah, you could see it on the back of her elbow as soon as the umpire noticed. Definitely just looked like a scratch from where she fell earlier. Here's had a rough day behind the plate as well. Took one off the face mask that rocked her pretty well. Took a tumble at first. Now cut on the back of her arm has been fixed. And so we will get back to the at-bat. Still only one pitch so far. It was a ball in the dirt. It's Riley Ford ahead. Riley Ford crushes this one out to right field. It'll one-hop off the 2021 NCAA tournament appearance sign, and she's into second with a stand-up double.
What a smash all the way to the back. That's a great play. You've got a runner now in scoring position. Lindsay Partlow up to bat now. She's the sophomore, got a 329 average on the season so far. Fly out to her name, but we've seen Lindsay Partlow have some magic here before. Maybe she can make something happen and at minimum tie the game up for the Lions.
There should be a pinch runner for Ford, I believe, is the hold up down the third base line, and it will be. So Ford's going to exit. It'll be Lexi Chitwood to head out to second here. Good speed on the bases now. Is Piedmont going to do their best to scrape across this run? Partlow has had a rough day so far. Has not looked great at the plate. 0 for 3 with no hits to her name as she takes ball number 1 outside.
Looked like she was going to bunt for sacrifice.
It might be thinking about it, but she's ahead in the count, so we'll see what she wants to hold. Get the first pitch outside for ball 1. I don't know about how I feel her bunting here. She's going to square and do it again, and that's the danger you run, is that is off of the press booth right above us. That was always a scary moment. We got plexiglass in front of the camera, but it did not reach high enough. Didn't really do its job there. And so the count will go to 1-1.
That loud knock will always give you a scare. I jumped a little bit and I knew we were safe.
Count to 1-1. Partlow and all of the Lady Lions have had trouble getting the bunts down today. A lot of them have been popped up. If you're going to square, you got to get it down. She does not. Ground ball down the third baseline. Foul, and she's behind 1-2. This one's outside. I'll go to 2-2.
Counts even here for Partlow. Partlow's not been great at bat today, but we're seeing some good patience from her. See if maybe she can walk her way to get on pitch and really cause Belhaven some problems here.
Big swing and a miss there from Partlow as she's down on strikes. That'll bring Hannah Smith to the plate.
Now batting number 24, Hannah
We'll see what Smith can manufacture.
A ground out.
Yeah, she's not going to be much. Got a ground out to her name. In this one, she was 0 for 2 in the last one. A little line out to first, has to scramble back to second, does Chitwood, and she is safely in there. But just like that, went from no outs to 2 outs, and now Jasmine Lowry going to have to play hero here. This is who you want at the plate with 2 outs. And the track record against Caruth, the best on the team so far, 2 for 5 on the day, 1 for 2 in this game. That's going to draw a mound visit out of Belhaven.
Coach Martin for the Lions will also call in everyone in the infield for his team. He said Lowry's definitely one of the people who you want having action in the box in this type of situation. Only 3 hits on the day for the Lions, but she's got one of them.
Lowry 1 for 3 in game 1, 1 for 2 in this one. She's seeing the ball well. The 0-0. Takes that one down for ball 1. Good patience. Again, Chitwood, great speed. At second, you have to assume a ball hit to the outfield. They will send Chitwood to the plate. Hits so far and in between, but you're willing to take the gamble. This one chopped. Foul. Count will go to 1-1.
Another extremely tense inning here. Here's the 1-1 pitch.
Inside for ball 2. Biggest pitch of the day for Kennedy Caruth here. The 2-1. Got a pop-up into shallow right, coming on to make the catch, and again, working out of trouble. Piedmont still scoreless, headed top of the 6th. Back for a 6th inning of work. Riley Ford has been great so far, but still trails 1-0. Similar situation to how McBrayer trailed 1-0. Of course, that game and the lead did get stretched near the last portion of that one, as we've got some discussion going on here. Not too sure what the holdup is. Maybe a change out of the bullpen, potentially. Oh, it's actually the umpire is the reason we have a slight delay, but now we are good to get back underway. It's Matty Miller at the plate. Again, the Millers, no relation, besides the fact that they have the same name. I mean, Madison Miller and Matty Miller, from 2 completely different states, not sisters. Just a strange coincidence there. But Matty Miller, Allie Gordon, Kennedy Caruth. The 1-2-3 due up here. This one popped into right. Lowry will come on and make the catch, and just like that, 1 pitch, 1 out for Riley Ford.
That's what you need here for the Lions. You need a 1-2-3 inning. Defense is really the name of the game here. In the last 2 innings offensively, you've gotten in good positions to score, just popped it up, got struck out. Opportunities offensively to make it happen, but you can't get anything going there if you don't hold it down here. It's another good start there for Ford.
Great pitch. Inside corner for strike 1. Staying ahead is going to be important for Riley Ford. You have to hold the Blazers where they are and trust that your offense can create a couple of runs and get you this big win. Great changeup for strike 2. Now ahead in the count 0-2. Plenty of pitches to work with.
Gordon's been struck out before in this game. One of many strikeouts to Ford's name.
The 0-2. Oh. We'll get the Henry Classic where she checks to see where it is, and I guess it's up on that one because it was definitely over the plate. So
that was
count
tight.
Will go to 1-2.
Tight as ever.
The 1-2. Down in the dirt, blocked up well. Count will go to 2-2.
Gordon's got it evened up here.
2-2 delivery. Pop up. Trying to hang on, but I don't think it will, and it won't. We'll do the 2-2 again as that one's fouled off. Ford delivers. Up and out. Count will go to 3-2.
And suddenly going ahead in the count, all of a sudden you're back at full. Need a big play here from Ford.
Full count delivery. Big swing and a miss. Gordon chased ball 4. Now Kennedy Caruth into the box here. Ford just 1 out away from getting out of the top of the 6 and letting her offense go right back to work.
Carrie Caruth struck out twice so far. Ford's going to want to make that a hat trick of strikeouts on her. To end the top of the 6. We got to get there first.
This one popped up down the left field line. It'll head out into the bleachers over on the turf field. So, long foul ball for strike number 1. Ford continuing to do a great job of getting ahead on these Blazer hitters today. That one's taken down and in for ball 1. Counts back even. This one popped up again out of play for a 2 strike at bat now. Ford's got plenty to work with.
Ford going down to the dirt, trying to wick some of that moisture off her hand. It's an extremely humid day today, as always in the state of Georgia.
With the breaking ball fielded well by Ford, and she'll get herself out of the inning. No chance the middle infield makes that play, but it's a 1-2-3 top of the 6th. We're headed to the bottom half of the frame. Piedmont needs a run. Caitlin Isley to lead off the bottom of the 6th here and needs something out of her. Had a rough day at the plate thus far, and now would be a fantastic time to reach for the first time.
Hard swing and a miss there. 2 groundouts in the game so far. Also got Kara Taylor and Madison Henry up to bat next.
This ground ball to shortstop, and it's booted by the shortstop, and the Lady Lions find out why you need to put the ball on the ground more than they do in the air.
And we'll see Isley go and grab her glove. So you got to assume she's going to look to steal here.
Have to. Got to create some opportunities. I believe that was scored in error, as it should be. Got 5-hole there. Did the shortstop.
Kara Taylor up to bat here. Got a ground out and a fly out on the day.
Isley's on the move. Isley cut it early. That one's up in the zone for ball 1. Tried to go with the rise ball early, maybe get Taylor to pop out here. Isley is definitely looking to get on the move. McNear's got a great arm and is fast behind that plate. Now ahead in the count, 2-0 is Kara Taylor. This is a big opportunity here for Taylor because I think Caruth is more worried about Isley taking second than she is locked in on Taylor. She could leave something over the middle of the plate right here. And she did. Kara Taylor, a drive to left field. It's carrying well. It's dropping in front of the wall. Isley rounds third. She's headed to the plate. She'll score standing. We're tied.
What a play. You called it on the nose, Barlow. Phenomenal stuff from Kara Taylor there. Isley was able to round all the way home. Great stuff there. You got a tie ball game, and it's all up for grabs now.
It's the power of observation, Chloe. You could tell those were 2 very uncharacteristical misses from Kennedy Caruth. 2 back-to-back uncompetitive pitches for the first time today that we've seen that kind of action.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because Isley, again, these teams have scouting reports. Isley leads the team in stolen bases. They know she wants to run. And you let that distraction get the best of you. They will run for Kara Taylor at second. It's going to be Logan Hawkins, I believe, who's actually a pitcher with good speed. It is Logan Hawkins.
And you can just feel the momentum switching all the way to the Lions.
Now, if you're Madison Henry here, you watch Kara Taylor crush that. You know Kennedy Caruth doesn't want to get behind again. I sit on a first pitch fastball here and don't miss it. It's down in the zone. Caruth might be beginning to unravel. Chloe, she's on her 13th inning of work. She's 12 innings in. This is inning number 13.
That's absurd. First of all, that's absurd. A lot of work there.
It is humid. Again, don't let the cloud cover fool you. It's humid and warm here. This one sent out to right. It's over the right fielder's head. No, what a catch! Tagging was Logan Hawkins. She left early and will be called out at second base. So 2 outs in the inning now. What a catch out there from the right fielder. That's the flex spot. Jordan Knipe
at the plate, number 12.
just might have saved the game for Belhaven. Now McBrayer at the plate with 2 down. Oh, how the momentum shifts. McBrayer fists that one to first, and just like that, Belhaven's out of the inning. Piedmont tags him for 1, but oh, what could have been. Ellie Jones to lead off the inning. Here, the cleanup hitter for Belhaven. Had a rough day against breaking balls, but besides that has absolutely crushed the fastballs. He has a hit and an RBI in this game, the lone RBI for the Blazers.
Ford still on the mound for the Lions, having a good day so far.
Popped up, will move out of play and land foul for strike number 1. Riley Ford, yeah, you're right, Chloe. An incredible day thus far, giving up just 3 hits in this contest.
And we were talking off air, Riley Ford is just a freshman. We've got 3 more years of her. Imagine how good she'll be as a senior.
It's a great start to her career. There's the changeup that has been the nemesis of Ellie Jones. And we talked about scouting reports on players like Isley. Piedmont has definitely had the scouting report on Ellie Jones, because when they get ahead in the count, they have loaded her with changeups, and it has not gone in her favor. Multiple strikeouts on changeups thus far today, and the 0-2 pitch might see one here. Went with the rise ball, got her anyways. Another strikeout for Riley Ford, and it's 1 gone in the top of the 7th.
Great start here. You've tied, in case you just missed it, Lions have tied it up at the bottom of the 6th. Here at the top of the 7th now, all to play for. Still a very humid day out there. Seeing everyone in the infield going down to grab some dirt, wick that moisture off.
Sydney Reynolds in the box. This one's popped up down the third baseline. Isley trying to hang on, but I think it just went foul as we lose sight of her behind the dugout.
Yeah, that one went foul, landed in the bullpen.
There's a little bit of area in play beyond your screen and beyond the dugouts. Dugouts make almost like a protruding U shape There's a little bit of room on the flip side, as that's a great pitch from Ford, but it is just a little bit too far inside for ball one. One's outside for ball two. 2-1 now.
Sydney Runnels with the fly out and a walk on the day so far.
Oof, that one is ripped foul down the left field line. Runnels just can't quite keep that one on the right side of the chalk.
Made good contact with, though. I think it gave everyone just a little bit of a scare there.
Yeah, you hold your breath to wait to see if it somehow holds true rather than curling out of play.
But instead of a base hit, counts even at 2. Runnels yet to see a strikeout from Ford today. One of the only players for Belhaven not to see a strikeout from Ford.
Good time to change that right now. The 2-2. Ooh, a missile back up the middle. 2 hops to Hannah Smith, and it's a 1-out single for Runnels there. That'll bring the backstop. Anna McNear into the box here. McNear moves well for a catcher. She's shown good speed today here. Would be a tough double play candidate, but Riley Ford, that's the goal here. 1 pitch to get out of the inning. Could still find a strikeout if needed. The 0-0 delivery. Drop the bunt down, it goes foul, and we'll come back and do it all again.
We just saw from McNear. McNear is the catcher for Belhaven. She's got a lot of power in her legs. One thing about her, she can pop up really quickly and make the throw to second if she needs to. Same thing when she's running. Got a lot of power in that legs, can quickly get out of the box and make her way to first.
Second pitch of the at-bat. Inside, no, catches the corner for strike 2. Great spot there from Riley Ford, and now really do whatever she wants to. With McNear here, I think you play for the strikeout on 0-2 and then maybe try to get a ground ball in the 1-2 situation. Got her swinging. They appeal to first. Umpire says she went. And just like that, there's 2 down in the inning. 1 out away from getting out and giving Piedmont a chance to walk it off for the 3rd time here at the Walker Athletic Complex.
Number 3, May Hebert.
This was supposed to be
Macy Zinskin.
Yeah, this is supposed to be Zinskin, but I believe it is. I have to check the official roster here.
It's going to be May Hebert.
May Hebert is how it's pronounced. So Hebert being called upon here in the time of need for Belhaven to try to make something happen. I don't know if this is a full change or if they'll re-enter Ziskins back for the defensive end. Either way, it's ball 1 from Riley Ford. .1-0 pitch here. Poked out to right. Lowry got burned. It's off the wall. This one gonna plate the runner, and Belhaven's taking the lead right back.
That's tough there, but the pinch hitter doing her job at the plate. Unlucky for the Lions. That was a great hit, however.
That had a lot of carry to it. Off the bat, I thought it was poked, but based on that, it was driven as they will re-enter the shortstop. Macy Ziskin back into second there.
At the plate, number 11, Anna.
So now Piedmont going to have to play for 1 run when they get to bottom of 7th. They've got to get out of this inning first here, as the 2-out hit has done the damage and put Belhaven back in front.
You see time called by the Belhaven coach, giving some instruction to his player.
They found something with the way that Riley Ford is either coming to the plate, or they found a couple things that they're picking up. I believe they're actually going to make a change here. They are a pinch hitter coming to the plate here. I mean, we're breaking out all the stops as Belhaven tries to advance their lead. Madeline Bullock. Terry Martin going to take his time, have a chat out there as well. So we'll take a short break until we come back. Madeline Bullock into the box here, the lefty. Going to try to do what the pinch hitter before her did and generate some kind of insurance for Piedmont here, as Terry Martin apparently missed the change, so we're going to have to go down and get that settled.
Lions already conceded a run this inning. The name of the game, just 1, 2, 3. It can be 3 strikeouts, it can be a ground out, pop up, doesn't matter. Just, you've got 2 outs on the day, just need to get that one, and you can go back to work in the bottom of the 7th. It's all the Lions need.
See if they can get there. They'll require 1 in the bottom of the 7th at minimum right now. Great pitch from Riley Ford to start the at-bat. Otava, Ford, and Partlow. A portion of the order that's due up. Terry Martin will likely turn to his bench if they can get to that half of the frame, trailing by just 1.
Counts even at 1. 2 outs. A lot of players been struck out so far. Maybe we can add Bullock to that list.
This one fouled back for strike 2. Now just 1 strike away from getting out of this one.
Just saw from some instruction from the third base coach for Belhaven, just telling her, don't get too excited, calm down.
Big situation for a pinch hitter here.
She's behind in the count, can see if this can finish it.
Rise ball up, will not get the chase.
Looks like that instruction's working so far, seeing a lot more patience from Bullock. Runner at second.
This one hammered into center, but Hannah Smith there to make the catch. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Piedmont needs 1. Potentially the last half inning on the day. It could be on a great note. It could be on a really bad note. Piedmont, they can walk it off here. They will be done. They need 2 for that. If they can manufacture 1, then we're headed to extra innings. And if they come up with 0, it is the end of the game.
It's moments like this why we love the sport of softball. So tense, Score is 2-1. Tight as ever at home. I love this sport. I'm so excited to be here right now.
Kennedy Caruth working on her 14th inning here today. Lady Lions are starting to see the ball well, and it's lined to third base right at a stationary Allie Gordon, and that's out number 1. Votava can't buy a break. Wow. Would have been a double down the line if she puts it a foot left or a foot right. And instead, it's 1 out, and Riley Ford, who absolutely gapped one into right center field last time she was at the plate. The Belhaven defense adjusting accordingly. With the changeup, it's down. It's in the zone for strike 1. Kelson Lundell stands on deck. The 0-1. With the changeup, this time it is down in the dirt for ball 1. Ford has to reach here.
Absolutely has to. She's no other option, truly.
Ford reaches, they'll definitely run for her, and then that will be the end of her day. Already been run for once. That'll bring Lundell to the plate. This ground ball back to the pitcher, fired to first. Piedmont's down to its last out. It'll rest in the hands of Kelson Lundell.
Pitching for Piedmont number 0, Kelson Lundell.
Somehow make it back to the top. You have Jasmine Lowry not too far away, and the majority of the Piedmont lineup that you'd want to see at the plate.
We're supposed to see Partlow right now, but as we spoke about earlier, Partlow not having her best game at bat today. Lundell, certainly someone you would love to see make some magic happen here. Lundell averaging 300 on the year so far. Certainly got some ability to make something happen, but she's just got to do it. The lefty.
Yo, pitch. Taken in for ball 1.
You've got to be patient here. Obviously, you know, this might be the last at-bat of the game so far. You got nerves running up and down your spine. Have to have some patience.
This one on the corner for strike 1. Count goes to 1-1. Weather's held off for today. Lundell takes yet another one. This one for strike 2. Hannah Smith awaits on deck. Lundell down to her last strike. The 1-2 delivery. Swing and a miss. Belhaven has pulled it off. They sweep Piedmont in a series that they had to win. Lady Lions go quietly, and hats off to Kennedy Caruth. 14 innings on the day. She gives up just 1 run in those 14 innings. A dominant performance there. Piedmont, 2 great performances out of McBrayer and Riley Ford, but not enough to muster a win. So that is it for Piedmont home softball in the regular season for 2023. They go back on the road for 5 more series, 3 of which are CCS before the CCS tournament. So for Davis Barlow, Chloe Spratland, Joseph Garwood, and Danielle Percival, thank you so much for joining us here, and we'll potentially see you next season.